Astrology is connected to time travel. Let me elaborate. And to further expand on the video that I posted yesterday about the DMT codes, right? The vibrations found in quarks could be the projection tone from a DMT code, like the tone of E when heard from a musical instrument, in the same way music forms cymatics. So, when you play music at a certain frequency and you put sand or you use water on a platform, then it forms these structures. The same structures that can be found on the windows of churches and temples. Now, take a look at a star zoomed in. This is a form of cymatics. This star could be the result of one of the DMT codes forming a tone. Like the universe could be the result of a song playing from the codes, right? In the same way that when you use computer code, you can create the Sims. Hello? Take a look at old American petroglyphs, Egyptian hieroglyphs, Germanic runes, the flower of life, and other symbols found on ancient sites. Let's take a look. Like the symbol found, like the swastika, could be just a code that tells you the pattern of the wind, which it is. Quite like the code that Neo saw when he knew that he was the one, the code that created that simulation. So what I'm saying is that these codes could have tones when played that could create frequencies, and those frequencies could look quite like stars. Scientists may have solved ancient mystery of first computer. From The Guardian, the hand-powered 2,000-year-old device displayed the motion of the universe, predicting the movement of the 5 known planets, the phases of the moon and the solar and lunar eclipses. But quite how it achieved such impressive feats has proved fiendishly hard to untangle. While other scholars have made reconstructions in the past, the fact that 2/3 of the mechanism are missing has made it hard to know for sure how it worked. Originally encased in a wooden box 1 foot tall, the mechanism was covered in inscriptions, a built-in user's manual, and contained more than 30 bronze gear wheels connected to dials and pointers. Turn the handle in the heavens, as known to the Greeks, swung into motion. This device hath displayed the movement of the sun, moon, and planets Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn on concentric rings. Because the device assumed that the sun and the planets revolved around the earth, their paths were far more difficult to reproduce with gear wheels than if the sun was placed at the center. Another change the scientists propose is a double-ended pointer they call a dragon hand that indicates when eclipses are due to happen. Whether or not the model works, more mysteries remain. It is unclear whether the Antikythera mechanism was a toy, a teaching tool, or had some other purpose, and if the ancient Greeks were capable of such mechanical devices, what else did they do with the knowledge? I like this last question. If they had the tech to make the Antikythera mechanism, why did they not extend the tech to other machines such as clocks? Because the Antikythera mechanism is connected to a clock, the celestial clock, the cosmos. Now, if you've seen Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, guess what they had in this movie? Spoiler alert. The Antikythera mechanism. And when all parts of this device was assembled, they used it to time travel. And this device was known to study the stars. This was the first computer. The first computer was an astrological clock. Anyway, I'm going to play a little bit of this video from the BBC to give you more insight on this Antikythera mechanism. So roll the footage.
To understand The technological world we live in today, we need to understand its history. What the Antikythera mechanism tells us is that that history is different than what we thought, that it started earlier, that it's developed in this incredible flourishing of this sophisticated technology, and then it seemed to go backwards. We kind of take it for granted, I think, in the modern world that technology will just keep on advancing. But throughout history, this hasn't always been the case. The history of technological development doesn't go in a straight line. It develops in fits and starts and sometimes gets lost and forgotten.
This is the first photograph of DNA. Side note, DNA backwards is like and is like the continuation of something, and you like reincarnate into different players that you create with your DNA by, breeding new children. Anyway, DNA is the vibration that forms the human body, which can be the result of a DNA code or a DMT code, rather, although those two are the same. Also, I found out that these paintings, this one was made by a painter named Allison Gray, Grey. All right, so the last thing I'll say is quite similar to gematria. When you decipher codes, letters, it breaks down into numbers. So these DMT codes could be the foundation for our math. So the whole 369 method could just be nothing more than putting codes together and spelling something that's beyond this dimension. Anywho, that's all. Love you. Peace.